What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I hope you are well. How's it going tonight? Cold Dawn, thank you for 11 months. Kurt, thank you for the raid, my friend. Appreciate it, dude. Living your world, playing ours. Nice stab. I'm trying to kind of get my local dev set up a bit better because I'm working on this retro project still. I don't have it yet, Kit. But soon. Soon. It's definitely in the mail, at least. But yeah, I don't have any throne mail tonight. So... I wanted to show you guys some stuff. I kind of wanted to work on some things, so we're just going to kind of do it together, and I'm going to explain. So... I'm back on this again. But... now, both of the towers No, I didn't see that grid. Let me take a look. It was on BattleBots? That's ridiculous. Crazy. Anyway, so let me actually, what is this? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so right down in here, which you can't really see that well, I've got a new thing. It's also right there. That's what that light is. But basically, the thing I was playing with before is this. An Extron IPL TS4 IP link box. And this is what's going on in the back here. So these are network-enabled devices. And this was allowing me to connect a serial port to that Extron switch and then control it. So that's what we were doing with this web stuff last time. What I have now are two IPLT S1s, which are basically the same box, but only one serial port. But otherwise, it's the same kind of thing. It's the same setup in terms of it's able to connect to the network, and then you can control things through it. Now, what I planned out is, and I'll show you here, I have them. So here's Retro Tower Mark II A and Retro Tower Mark II B. So these are both live. They look exactly the same. So if I do this and then I'll... There. And it's got the same file management stuff, blah, blah, blah. I could run web pages off of these. But I'm not actually going to do that. The way that they're hooked up right now is each box has a wireless, like a little wireless device attached to it via the Ethernet. So that's how they're connected to the network. And then they each are serially connected to the two switches behind me. So the new plan is, instead of daisy chaining this tower to this tower, I'm going to build an output hub. So I have another Extron switch coming. These are both 12 by 8s. The one that's coming is an 8 by 8. But I'm going to be moving the scaler off of that tower there. And the towers will now connect to the output hub, and the scalers will be on the output hub as well. So I could use the RetroTink, I could use the OSSC, I could use the GBSC, I could use the FrameMeister. They'll all be able to be swapped out or used much more easily because I'm not having to mess around with having it on one of the towers and then daisy chaining them together and blah, blah, blah. So both of them are only going to have basically an output bus coming out. There's no input. There's no Ethernet cable running to it. Just power cables, basically. Power, master power in is the only input to each tower. And then each is going to have a basically output bus, which is going to be RGB and YP, YBPR out, or component out, and audio. And that's it. It's going to be way, way cleaner and easier to deal with. And it's also more convenient with this like kind of portable on wheels setup. So, you know, really, I don't have to have all my consoles connected at the same time. I can't play them all at once. But if I did find an arrangement in my office to where I wanted it to all be stationary, I could hook them both up and it wouldn't be weird and inconvenient. There wouldn't be this daisy chain problem. Because the output hub is also going to be how everything gets to the CRT. So output hub, CRT and the output hub don't have to move, they don't have to change. I just have to connect these two to that, and everything else is already ready to go. So that's the plan. So the next thing I was wondering is like, what's going to be the best design for this? The web switching functionality. Now, my plan for this is it is going to use, because now this boy is now an extra, but it's not an extra. This is going to be the output hub controller, network controller. And what's cool about this is I only have to use one serial port for the switcher, and then I'll have 3 others available if I want to control something else. Now I have a lot of Extron devices. I have like an RGB sync converter box from Extron. I have some just RCA audio switchers that I could use for like setting up a sort of hi-fi, you know, vinyl, cassette player, all that, run that through that, and then control it with this as well, all from one box on the network on a web page. So yeah, so it's going to be all on the network as well. That's why I'm talking about this here, is that now I want to plan out like, well, how's this all going to go now? Because previously I was
He has a flat brain.
Quiet Wild, thank you for nice months. Previously, I was working on, and other people have messed with stuff as well, trying to figure these things out. But I was working on like, how am I going to do this like daisy chain switch thing? I was trying to overcome the difficulties or complications with the particular way in which these things work, and my lack of a full understanding of how they work. Because the commands, they're pretty archaic. It's pretty complicated and weird. The main thing that I was trying to figure out before is like, if I wanted to just have a button for every console, regardless of which tower they're on. Well, when you get to the consoles that are on the second tower, which is daisy chained through, you need to switch the first switcher to the 12th profile. And then you need to switch on the second tower to the preferred, whatever console you're trying to do. Now, at the moment, they are still daisy chained together. Because I don't have the output hub yet. But we can still kind of play with this as though the output hub is here, because I can just switch to the daisy chain port over here and then start messing around with consoles on that tower for now. Yeah, I want to test that out, Richie. I think I did test that out off stream. I don't think that it works, but I will try it anyway. I tried a few different things, so except actually the trouble now is we can't test it. Not like that. We can't test that command. What I did test was I discovered that it runs the last command. But basically, we don't have any way of doing it in a combined command now. That would only work if both switches were connected to the same box via serial connection, which would require this box, which I don't have connected now. Well, so I think what'll happen with that is that it'll load the first profile, and then it'll load the second profile, and the second one will just be what ultimately gets loaded, and it'll sort of be seamless on our end. Like, we won't see a difference. It'd be the same as just calling profile 2 and being done with it. So what's really going to change here is that now I can send commands directly to this or that tower. So if I wanted to do a combined sort of switcheroo and I want to do a count for the daisy chain, I would essentially have to do 2 calls instead of 1 right now until I get the output hub. And, hypothetically, with the output hub, maybe I will do 2 calls in that case too, because I would want to make sure that the output hub is on the right, input to output profile for the console that I'm pulling in. So, yeah, but that can still all be handled with just a little bit more complicated command, where we would just be calling this back to back. We'd tell the output hub, switch to this profile. We'd tell the proper tower that has whichever console, switch to the proper thing, and then we're done. Which isn't so bad. Yeah, essentially, Richie. It's a little bit more than select tower because it's going to be like select tower RGB, select tower component. It's because they're both basically, each of these is going to take up 2 inputs. So 4 of the inputs are going to just be the 2 towers on the output hub switch. The other thing is, I want to develop this to be deployed onto a web server that's running on a Raspberry Pi. Which, unfortunately, those are extremely hard to get right now. But I have one that I used for experimenting with RGB Pi back in the day. I think I might just repurpose it. Because I can revisit RGB Pi in the future when Pis are more available again. I'll just get like a Pi 4 or whatever the latest hotness is in the Pi world, and use that for RGB Pi. It's an RGB. It's a Raspberry Pi 3. Don't know. 3B. I know it's one. I think it's 1.2 gigahertz and 1 gigabyte of RAM. But it doesn't need to be a crazy powerful web server. Oh fuck! Is it Pi Day? How weird! I didn't even think about that. It do be Pi Day. That was an accident. By the way, that IPL-TS4 came with a cute little...
He has a flat brain.
Like, old school... Oh, it's like unreadable. It's an Extron screwdriver. Little, like, pocket protector screwdriver. 80s style. Zab, thank you for 59 months. Nice minus 10. So yeah, that's the big question this evening. Is how is this all gonna play out? If I do the Raspberry Pi server thing, the stuff that I want to figure out is like, how can I do deployments? How can I do development? Because I haven't done that. But this is stuff I actually want to learn for other purposes, like for my day job and stuff like that. Like, I need to get more comfortable spinning up and rolling out like NPM or Node like little applications and things. So this will be a good reason to do something like that. But yeah, what I'd like in the end is that I can like kind of work in my environment or whatever, and then just deploy the latest stuff to the Pi web server. But yeah, that'll be like the master control system for all this. The output hub, the two towers, everything. So, let me plug the retro scene in here. Why can't we see anything? Let me turn this and this off. It doesn't like that. OBS doesn't like that. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do... Video capture device. Vision RGB. Buh! Okay, that'll do. It probably can run Docker. I'm not really a Docker guy. So that would be like starting from nothing for me. Let's see if this is working real quick. Oh yeah. I fixed the Virtual Boy, by the way. I think I mentioned that I had, but... Oh, that's honestly true geek with the way development is, particularly with Node stuff these days. There's absolutely no difference developing on Windows or Mac or Linux. It's, especially with web stuff, it's just all one, which is fucking great. It's so pleasing. I remember having to do a lot of bullshit back in the day, like if I used multiple systems. I used to use... I had everything going, God, 15 years ago? I have, but it's really, like, pretty rare. Pretty rare. If anything, I've run into, like, scripts that are written wrong, to where they're OS dependent and they don't need to be. But yeah, I feel like using Docker to fix that is like using a bazooka to hammer a nail. Just sounds really heavy. For the most part, I haven't run into that issue. I'm able to swap between Windows and Mac for my for all of my day job development, and it's all Node apps. But it does depend very much on what you're doing. So yeah, the Virtual Boy, I figured out kind of by accident because I was testing things that also, let me turn that back on just in case. So we had that like jitter issue, and I'm using, okay, I am using slot 2 right now. Video ADC. So I think it was this one here. We didn't actually fiddle with LLPLLBW. But that was what was causing the problem. So all I can think is that something different with the switch on Tower 2, or something about the daisy chaining, altered something about the signal in a way that I don't know or understand. I don't really know what LLPLL does, particularly not what BW does, but it was the cause of all the jitter. So if I actually turn this up just to 4, the jitter will return. Maybe I have to crank it. But I know that the good setting is 3. I think it was originally on 7. Maybe it's just gonna make me a liar. And it's not bothered about it now. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not about templates either, Deb. Like, the thing with NPM is, like, if you know what you want to do, you can just get exactly the packages you need to do the job, which is extremely light and easy. I guess it does. So yeah, we still don't have the full picture in some game, actually all games for the Virtual Boy, but in some games it matters. It doesn't really matter in Telebroboxer. I don't think there's anything in particular that we're losing out on, but like Jack Bros has that issue where you lose some of the on-screen HUD elements, and that's just the nature of this version of the output. But this is the most compatible output with my setup. The other output is VGA, and it's a resolution that I don't think the RetroTink's gonna like. The OSSC might fuck with it. I never actually got it working. Like, I don't know how to run it through my setup and have it work. I need to, like, basically take the VB off try to connect directly to the CRT, see how that looks, see how that works. But I think that this is the most advantageous way to set it up for now. We get the aspect ratio, it sounds and looks great. It's kind of hard to beat. I don't know. I don't know that there's any cache. I simply do not know why it was unhappy before and is fine with it now. I can't explain it. But I do at least know what to tweak to fix it if I need to. So... no, I tested that. That did not help, as far as I know. Yeah, well, so I had fixed that. I think I had fixed that in the previous profile, but I fixed it here too. You can just move the picture around with the RetroTink, which is really great. You could just move it vertically and horizontally within its sort of read of the signal. So I just centered it and it looks great. By the by, I checked to see if there's any speedruns for this game, and there is only currently one holder of any record on Teleroboxer in 2 categories. And I'm almost tempted, because I think this game is so cool. I almost want to spend some time just learning the ropes of this game and maybe consider learning the route. Yeah. And both of those runs are on emulator. I did check to see if any genuine Virtual Boy had cropped up on speedrun.com. I didn't check every game, but I did see that on Wario World, there were a couple of genuine Virtual Boy runs that weren't emulated. Well, I don't know that I'm going to own it, because I think the other person who did it, it looked like they did a pretty darn good job and knew what they were doing. So it's not a freebie. It would mean work. Oh, well, so from what I can tell, because the Virtual Boy is still a very new thing, like the runs that I saw that were on real Virtual Boy were from like a year ago. And I think this has been out for what, like 2 years? And it's such a limited library, so it's such a small community that they haven't even really split between emulator and real Virtual Boy. They just lump them together. So no freebies in that regard either. Yeah, I was hoping that maybe nobody had touched it and I could just walk in there with like a fucking 20-minute run. I did it, world record. Rent it. I think they should commission Syl. Do a fancy GDQ special edition Virtual Boy. And then have that there for the runners. You can put the entire Virtual Boy library in like a small cardboard box. Oh, you hated it? Okay, never mind. Sorry. I don't think that I would ever let anybody else touch it. I wouldn't be able to rent it out. I wouldn't be able to bring myself to do it because it's too special of an item. Somehow the fact that you hated doing it makes me appreciate it more. Wait, what? Is there a video out mod for Pocket Color? I wasn't aware of that. No. Oh, this is something else? Oh. Oh, was this also Furtech? Because I know Furtech was doing all kinds of, like, Neo Geo stuff. I don't know if they're still active. Yeah. It seems like the Virtual Boy... everyone that touched the Virtual Boy, including Furtech, was like, you know what? Fuck all this. Woozle. Oh, okay. Man. I wish I had, like, however much it is, like $40,000 to drop on that, the special, like, Neo Geo Pocket Color video out dev box thing that SNK had for, like, recording footage for advertising. So, let me see here. What sucks is that everything's fucking dead now. In terms of the chip shortage has fucking murdered everything. So, like, I wanted to get my hands on some mods, like particularly the 3DO mod, RGB mod. I really want to get that rolling, but they're just sold out, and it just says no ETA. An important chip to this kit is not available, and we don't know when it will be. So go away. So that sucks. Anyway. So we got that going. I've got my little map here, which I'm mostly covering up. I'm not sure on the accuracy of what I've listed here. These are my guesses from memory, because I don't have this stuff labeled yet. Since I had just done the build, I didn't know where everything was actually going to be. So the switch is unlabeled for this one. This one was previously labeled from when I originally did the first tower back in the day, and I used all the same layout. So this one's 100% accurate. This one's guesses. However, we can play with this now. It does, Epio. Turbo Duo R is on Tower 2, which is it's basically an endgame PC engine. So, if we do this for now, Tower 2 is 102, and I'm going to change this to I'm Daisy. Set that to Daisy. And then we have 5 consoles currently set up. Got the Virtual Boy. We've got the Turbo Duo R. We have the 3DO. Jaguar CD. And finally the Famicom on 12. So that's gonna be 4, 9, 10, 11, and 12. There we go. So this is just like a quick test. But let me turn on those consoles. Okay, they should all be on. So only these buttons down here will actually work because this isn't properly set up. The command actually needs to change to where I can specify which tower I want to send the command to. For now, oh no, Dev. So we're on Virtual Boy. Let's try switching to Turbo Duo R. We got nothing. 3DO. Nothing. Jaguar? Ruh-roh. Oh, I'm a silly simpleton. I didn't set up any profiles. That would make sense. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so this was loading profile 12 when I clicked on Famicom, and that was showing the Virtual Boy, which is weird. Yeah, it looks like they're definitely laid out the way that I thought. So the profile must be weird. I'm just setting up profiles right now. Hang tight. Okay, they should be set up, so let's see if they work now. Profile 4. No. Profile 9. No. Profile 3? Or 10? 11? 12? Why is only 12 working? I saved it, didn't I? I did, yeah. 102. It's acting like It's acting like the daisy chain. No. No, the IPs are correct. And that's correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's acting like there's only one profile. I mean, I know it is. But we can look. Or it's not. What? Why is it doing that? Hello? Oh, hell's bells. The new command doesn't actually use my variable. I pasted this in from Discord. It's not my fault. Okay. Now this should work? Well, now it's going to the right box. The command is formed properly. But they don't work at all. Why? Why? Thank you, True Geek. The output of the 102 switcher. It is. Yes. It should be. It's acting like the profiles are gone. What the fuck? Like on the switch itself. What's this set to? Ah, that's I see now. There we go. When I was clicking around before, it was switching the other box because of the wrong IP. So the first switch wasn't set up correctly. So now we should be good. There we go. This is why you, thank you for putting me in the right path, True Geek, because, like, I was just confident, like, that the code wasn't wrong. Okay, Virtual Boy, Turbo Duo R. That's the Jaguar. Okay. That's okay. 3DO. Which is component. So I can't see that. I'm gonna guess. Oh, I'm not sure why that's not working.
Well, 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 look who's here. Another warrior comes a-knocking on my hallowed halls. Beyond this is a challenge from which there is no turning back.
Really need that RGB mod. I think I know why it's not working.
Blacktop, where the winners reign in infamy and the losers are turned away by the thousands. So let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. So it has its own special converter box that's converting S video to component. That's why that wasn't showing up. Okay. So then... So the 3DO is where I thought the Turbo Duo was. No, the Jaguar is. Fuck's sakes. Also, oh right, yeah, we wouldn't have picture because I changed it. Okay, so Turbo Duo is actually Jaguar CD. 3DO is 3DO. Jaguar CD is Turbo Duo R. Okay, so 3DO, Jaguar, Virtual Boy, Turbo Duo, which kind of seems like it's not looking quite right. I wonder why. The colors don't look right. Ugh, weird. I don't like that. That's weird. That's a weird thing to do. That's not a good thing to do. Very strange. Ooh. Yeah. PC Engine right there. And, Please set disk. Oh. No disk. Yeah, the third one is going to be the output hub. That looks fucking crisp. We can do more. We can go farther. It's kind of weird and wide. Oh.
Wir haben uns hier versammelt, um die Mächte der Finsternis mit unserem verfluchten Blut zu rufen. Wir wollen die Welt regieren.
Goodness me.
Den Niedergang der Welt.
Honestly, Richie, yes. I now so very much wish that the RetroTink had some sort of networking capability, so it could be integrated. It has. So here's the thing. If we want to go kind of nuts here,
He has a flat brain.
I think it's actually possible. Because, well, he's just gonna laugh at me. But here's the thing. It's got IR control. Now, Extron made shit for everything. Exactly. And the output hub is going to have this extra serial box network device. And I'm like 99% sure that you could serially control an IR blaster. Probably an Extron made one. To then issue commands to the RetroTink. And it could maybe we could automatically load saved profiles based off of the console selected. I'm not sure if I'm capable of that level of stuff, but I mean, I would sure like to. Look how fucking crisp this is. Holy shit. Yeah, probably maybe not, Cork. It's a janky way to do it, for sure. And it might not, I don't know. It might not be responsive enough for it to be reliable, as you say. But yeah, the fact of the matter is, the RetroTink doesn't have any other kind of expansion. It doesn't have any serial port or anything like that. I mean, it's got a USB port. And that's used for uploading firmware. But I'm not sure that it could be used to do anything else. Okay, so, and then finally Famicom. It's my dumb face. Thank you for that. Yep, there it is. Extron IR emitter. Question is, how hard would it be to get my hands on one. And then the worst question is, how hard would it be to send commands to it? Doesn't really have any great images of like how do you use this. IR broadcaster. Take a look at that. Oh, old school. Whew. Look at that. Everything I'm using here, food, is retired. Everything. The retired things are the shit that you can actually get your fucking hands on. Everything else is, expensive. Like, if it's something that they currently still make, it's usually unaffordable. Because it's for, you know, it's business to business level pricing. $220, huh? Oh boy. Oofta. Oofta. Alright. So we got this going, which is great. That do be large, but let me look. What did you find? Is it that particular thing? Oh, it's only $7. How weird. Okay. I mean, that's... I was just going off of what I know from buying Extron stuff. And they use the same fucking picture from their website, so, like, this isn't a great listing, but hey, it's available. It's out there. I just need to know more. I'll have to look up the manual for it and see what the scoop is. So, we're off and running with this, which is fucking great. Look, now the Turbo Duo's pissed off. Really pissed off. It wasn't a second ago. Jaguar's fine. Virtual Boy's squished there. It's freaking out. It's freaking out. Curious. Famicom, not so much. Now, I think this is to do with... Now it's fine. Now the Virtual Boy's dancing all over. Now the Turbo Duo's dancing all over. Famicom fixes everything. Yeah. If I go to Famicom... Oh, no, now it's fucked up. Well, I'm gonna have to figure out what the cause of that is. It's weird. Don't love that. No, because it was doing this even when the Virtual Boy was the only thing running. So, it's not that either. I think that if it were the case, it would also be all the time. I will say that neither of my switches are reset to factory defaults. So they could have some weird, wacky settings like on them, because the switches are actually pretty damn configurable, but not easily. So it might help to just knock them both back to factory defaults and then remake all my profiles. So I'm thinking anyway. Look at that, man. This looks fucking great. I am pleased with that. What a beauty. Yeah, it would eliminate a variable for sure. So it's worth trying. I have to look up the fucking manual for the cross points. I don't know if that'll be scriptable. I somehow imagine that it wouldn't be.
In der guten alten Zeit lebten die Menschen noch ruhig und in Frieden. Niemand glaubte, dass es in Zukunft
Okay.
zu einer Bedrohung kommt.
So we got that going. What's the fastest way to just...
Auf der Schattenseite des Friedens und des Wachstums gab und
Probably to just do something like...
die Menschen beginnen, das Wachstum abzulehnen und bezeichnen den Frieden als Degeneration.
Something like that.
Uns hier versammelt, um die Mächte der Finsternis mit unserem verfluchten Blut zu rufen. Wir wollen, dass sie die Welt regieren. Wir erwarten lächelnd den Niedergang der Welt.
Probably, right?
100 Jahren
And then...
er kann sich in eine
Oop.
Fledermaus, einen Wolf und Nebel verwandeln. Er liebt die Nacht. Er schlürft das Blut von jungen Frauen und lebt ewig. Der Burgherr des Teufelsschlosses, der Herr des Bösen, Graf Dracula ist auferstanden.
This is overly explicit, but... Base URL is not defined. Oh, right. Let's get rid of this. So, now this still... What will happen? Oh no, this will be okay. This should work. So if I turn on the NES... Oh yeah.
In der guten alten Zeit lebten die Menschen noch ruhig und
Yes, yes.
immer das Böse. Als den
That's That's pretty baller. That's true. We could have the Pi do it as well. We could just emit from the Pi. Ha! I think that would be overdoing, because we've already got network access, so that would be running an unnecessary cable. Yes, although the daisy chain is going to be thrown out, I could...
Start your engine. 3, 2, 1.
What's the ugly way of doing this? Probably... Let's do function, so we'll do that. Whoops. My fingers are still in Mac mode. And then... what is that fucking thing? It's here. Still Mac mode. There. No, I said the ugly way. The fast way. That works. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
Das Böse.
3, 2, 1.
This is just really something.
Checkpoint clear. How'd you do that? Checkpoint clear. Watch out!
Genesis. Dreamcast. It hates that. Why that's so unhappy. We don't even have audio from this for some reason. Why is the Dreamcast mad? I'm sure it's making audio. It is. It's in 480p mode. Is it the RetroTink that isn't like this? This is the first time I've run the Dreamcast through. And these are special Dreamcast settings. .525p. Maybe it's the output resolution that's bad here. Hi. Yeah, they're just la 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 la. What? What's going on here? Well, that looks okay, but I don't know why we're not getting audio. Hold on. There we go. Beautiful. Let me try switching. Everything's fine. I feel fine. Yeah, switching profiles and stuff is really important to all of this. Yeah, it's weird that this was so squished. And 16:9 looks... Oh, fuck. I know why. There we go. Yeah, it's the... Vision RGB doesn't update straight away. There we go. Now let's have a look at this. That looks mighty crispy. God damn. So yeah, I think the only speed bump to all of this is it is necessary to switch the profiles, which kind of takes a little bit of the shine off. But it's still great. I think Food and Wavy Ranchero, I think I missed both of you resubbing, and I'm sorry. Food, thank you for 55 months, and Wavy, thank you for 43 months. Maybe I did get those, I don't... My brain doesn't work anymore. La 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 la, la 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 la. Really, Grid? That could be a, boy. It would be interesting to play with. I agree with the previous point raised, though, that it probably wouldn't be terribly reliable. But it'd be worth a shot. God, this opening still makes me so nostalgic. Okay, so let's switch to MVS. It's not the right profile, but it is working. That only right side audio I'm hearing there? A serial link on the USB port. Huh. Yeah, only right side audio for some reason. Fixed. For now. Okay, that's working. Huh. Well, that's not right. Oh, I know why. I know why. So this is a weird effect of that I didn't have the profile like override RGB because it's not an RGB signal. Why no audio? Same problem. Okay. Got the Wii working. Optocoupler? Really? Holy shit. Fucking hell. That's insane. Okay, so the Wii is functioning. GameCube's up. So this still has this weird swiping thing happening. And I just really don't know what the heck that's about. Like, that's new to me. I don't know if it's this game, maybe? No, it's happening right here on, like, the logo. It must be something to do with the, The retro tink? Still happening. None of this seems to affect it.
Krauser, go get the girl.
Hmm.
Krauser, go get the girl.
Been a long time, comrade. You catch on quick, as expected. After all, you and I both know where we come from.
What do you want?
Leon. Long time no see.
I don't know. I really, really don't know. I don't have the CRT hooked up right now. Not one that can display this anyway. Something else that needs to be troubleshot. So strange. Hold on, let me try looking that up right now.
Krauser, go get the girl.
I'm not turning up anything in a search. Nah, the other consoles can't interfere.
Resident Evil 4. $1998. I'll never forget it.
This seems to be very specific to the GameCube. Yeah, it doesn't do anything either. Why is this display so tiny? It's weird. I don't remember that being the case. I'll probably record a little bit of video of it and fire that off into the RetroTink Discord. See if anybody else has had this weird issue. Because it's quite odd. At least it's easy to see. Let's see now. Spent a lot of time on that. So we did the Nintendo. Oh yeah, I was running through the component consoles. Oh no, the Wii has it too. Actually, the Wii's got some other thing going on. I can't remember if that vertical pass is part of the Wii menu. I think it is. But there's some other, like, interference happening. That's really strange, huh? The one that's going up the back might be an effect that the Wii had, but I can't remember. Is it not? All right. Woof. Well, what about the Xbox? Let's see. Need an Xbox controller.
He has a flat brain.
Omni, thank you for 71 months. Sorry, I'm just trying to locate an Xbox controller right quick here. There's one all the way at the bottom of this bin, of course. What better place for it to be than all the way at the bottom of the bin? I'd prefer it to be there. There we go. Oh no, the little extension adapter thing came off, so I didn't really get a usable controller in my hand here. So annoying. Hold on. I'm sure it's down there in the bottom. We got to start taking things out. There it is. Little bastard. Okay. Let's switch to that. Okay, I mean, this is, to me, starting to seem like a RetroTink issue. But I don't know what the issue is.
He has a flat brain.
Yeah, I ended on 1440p. Nah, I really went through a lot of the settings on the RetroTink and nothing seemed to have any effect on those. So I don't know what's up. The Batman, thank you for 20 months. I appreciate it. Well, I mean, they're working at least. But, yeah, this issue is weird. Okay, so the only consoles that haven't been tested now are the PS2 and the Saturn. So let's do that right quick. I'm glad we don't have any RGB problems. Maybe the component cable I'm using to connect to the RetroTink is shitty or something. Oh, that looks fucking sexy. Yeah, basically replace it. I could try that.
He has a flat brain.
Kyler, thank you for 33 months. I forgot that this game doesn't do shit unless you tell it to. This is a story all about how I lived in Romania in 1792. I love how that castle is just basic 3D polygons with no texture on it. For a lot of the bottom bits. It looks like they forgot to finish it before they rendered out the movie. You mean like one of those things that you put a Wiimote in and then it makes it a gun? Like for Link's, what is it, crossbow training or whatever? Woof. God damn.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans.
Beautiful.
Who wish to pay me tribute.
Yeah, I think I have one of those somewhere, but I'm not sure.
And souls, and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk.
How about you? Lovely. So that's working fine. All right, let's check the old Saturn out. I have so many batteries to fix. I hate it. The Saturn is actually easy because it has a door on the back and you just pop the battery out and slap a new one in. But the Dreamcast requires a solder job. The PS2 requires a solder job. The Xbox, I don't even know. I'm hoping it has a swappable battery like a PC, since it's kind of a PC. I think that's it, fortunately, as far as battery swapping. Looks good. I'm pleased. Let's run the RGB. Nintendo. Super Nintendo. Pilot Wings, baby. I played a lot of Pilot Wings. Wave Race. N64. Genesis. Just playing the silly Sega CD screensaver. Saturn. Dreamcast. Bwah, 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 bwah. PS2. MVS. It's not the right aspect ratio, that's okay. Virtual Boy. It's freaking out. Jaguar CD. Turbo Duo. Famblycom. That's all the RGB. This shit's fucking working and it rocks. And then the awkward switch to components to visit the Wii. The GameCube. The Xbox. And the 3DO. You know what's weird here is I'm not seeing any swiping on the 3DO.
Well, this is it. What every
Yeah.
red-blooded, land-loving, land-speed record...
3DO's clean.
A free ticket in the rocket of your dreams. A one-way ticket to the stars and a ride you won't soon forget.
Why?
Fasten your seatbelts.
I mean, that would mean that it's not the component cable, because they're all going through the same one, including the 3DO. Maybe. I don't know how it would be, but it could be, I guess. Yeah, I don't see any banding or anything like that at all. How bizarre. Well, no, because the 3DO is on the second tower. The rest of the component devices are on the first tower. Could try turning off the 3DO, but I don't think that it's the cause. No, that had no effect. Yeah, you mean like a ground loop or something? Well, I've just completely shut down the second tower. The power bars are off. Still plugged in to power, but everything is off, including the switch. It's still daisy chained across. That's right, Grid. The component cable is secure. I don't see any issue there. Why? Why? I've disconnected the second tower from power altogether. No effect. And now I've disconnected the daisy chain. Also to no effect. So now Tower 1 is completely independent. And yeah, we still have this on all of the component consoles. Why? Why? Ah! Ah! I discovered the difference. I know it's different now. Fuck's sakes. So you know that thing that's been happening when I've switched to the component? No, not a loose cable. It's profiles again. Profiles. The thing where I've switched to a component console, but then before I switch, so when I've had the RetroTink on RGB, I switch to a component console. The audio will go away, but like some RGB signal will still be showing. And I remarked, oh, that's happening because I don't have the profile overriding that output. But that's fine. It wasn't fine. It wasn't fine. It was not fine. So what's happening is the RetroTink is receiving both an RGB and component signal right now, one for the Wii and one for the NES. Now it's not. There we go. I was really starting to get worried that something was drastically wrong, but this is very fixable. And that's why the 3DO was the weird one, because the 3DO didn't have anything competing with it. It was already blasting on all outputs on the other Switch, so it doesn't mean it's fine. I'm just updating the profiles now. I'm saving them, and now, I fixed the Wii, I fixed the GameCube. They're fixed now. And then the only other one is on this tower is the Xbox, right? Yeah. There you go. Yep. That's this is why I got to a point where I felt like I had to make a fucking map, because this stuff is so this is a really complicated video network at this point, you know, between the fucking wires for video and audio, and then the switchers with their inputs and outputs and profiles. It's a lot. And then I've added networking to it and this fucking web page. Fantastique. Okay, so now every single console is working that is currently hooked up, which is great. So then what remains to be done is to set up optimal profiles for any console that needs it in the RetroTink. There's only 12 that you can do, so hopefully it totals out to 12 or less. Well, I mean, this is like approaching endgame hobbyist crap. Right? This is something that's like kind of become an obsession for me over the past 5 years. And in the end, it's still, the vast majority of it only really interfaces with the stream in terms of the quality of the output that I'm putting on the screen for you guys. But the rest of it is all just me being a fucking nerd. But I think it's at least interesting for y'all. I don't think I'm really unique in this sort of build. There's a lot of other... Well, I don't know. In this particular space, there's a lot of dabblers, and then there's a small group of psychos. You know? Like, the ones that are beyond me are the engineer types that fix CRTs and design mod chips for consoles and shit like that. So I'm down a number of pegs from that level, but this is certainly approaching endgame in terms of just as like an end user in this hobby. I never thought when I started doing this, fuck. When I initially started trying to capture consoles for the stream, I was doing what? I remember I hooked up the GameCube with S-Video to play like Luigi's Mansion. And I was like, wow, this looks so good. And now, now I have 20 consoles hooked up to this insane like tower thing, 2 towers, and like a half tower to come. Well, I used to do that just because I think it's fun to share that experience. But I don't think I ever did that for actual capture. I always had some sort of direct capture. The original one that I did was it was a pre-Stream-A-Day stream. You probably need to refresh, Batman. It's a Twitch problem. But yeah, it was before Stream-A-Day, and I did that, what was it? Illusion of Gaia? The towers have names. They're Mark II-A and Mark II-B. May I refer you to the map? I like that kind of thing, though. Oh, hi, Mark, too. The first day of Stream-A-Day was December 3rd or 4th, 2013, I think. Is that right? Or is it 2014? I think I have it in the panels, in the about panel under the stream here. So, yeah, this was a stream that probably would have taken place in 2012 or so, or it could have been anywhere in 2013. There's a good chance it was in 2013. I did Illusion of Gaia. That was my first retro stream. And that was... all of this is Bob Bold's fault. Bob Bold. I don't know if he's still out there. I hope so. I hope he's doing well. But Bob Bold sent me a box. One of the, like, it's still like if I had a tier list of things that, like, retro things people have sent me, it's up there. Bill. But it was a box of just Super Nintendo games. And I had my original Super Nintendo. But it wasn't like just a box of Super Nintendo games. It was an incredible box of Super Nintendo games. It was like boxed Link to the Past. Boxed like at least half of Square Enix's, or actually Square and Enix's Super Nintendo RPGs. Like fucking what all was in there. I think I maybe... did I? No, Illusion of Gaia was the game that I played. What's... Secret of Mana. Boxed Secret of Mana. Illusion of Gaia was boxed. Boxed Chrono Trigger. Boxed Super Mario RPG. Boxed Final Fantasy 3 and 2. Like, it was...
has a flat brain.
It was a wild box of stuff. And so I got like a really shitty composite capture device. It was like a USB composite capture device, and I hooked up my Super Nintendo to that, and we played through Illusion of Gaia. And then I cut that up and put it on YouTube, and everyone got mad at me, and then I took them off of YouTube. And I decided to keep that shit to the old stream. YouTube was busy chasing me off of it at the time. Those were the dark times. Soray, thank you for 43 months. Yeah, that's what really kicked off my obsession. It's kind of weird that it wasn't like a continuous thing, because there was probably a good 6 years or so where I hardly played any video games at all. I loved video games, I grew up on video games, and then I went to that startup company for like 6 years or whatever, and I just threw myself into that, and that sucked, and then we were just kind of trying to get on our feet at that time, and that's when Bob Old sent that box. And it just kicked off this thing where I was like, oh yeah, I fucking love this shit. And that's when I started collecting. And that's when I started shortly thereafter stream a day and pursuing doing the retro capture stuff better and better and better. It's quite a journey, so it's longer than 5 years. It's been fucking almost a goddamn decade. Be a decade next year. But yeah, that would have been around the time that YouTube was fucking around with not telling people about videos from people they were subscribed to. When they had just kind of kicked off the recommendations algorithm thing. So well, you're spelling it wrong. It's 1M. Well, so the PS3, I have like kind of a weird definition of retro. Like when I posted the rebuild of Tower 1 here, when I posted that shit to Reddit, one of the common comments that was popping up was people going, I'm dead. The Wii is retro now. It's just like, especially the CRT gaming subreddit doesn't really have much of a restriction, but the retro gaming subreddit has like a strict rule of like, this is our definition. They probably got tired of people arguing and fighting about it, and they were just like, it's this generation and earlier is retro. The end. And they don't even want you to post anything about it. Like any console that's outside of those generations, they don't want you posting about it. I think I managed to slip through the rule there, since the majority of what I was showing was, the proper generations. But in my view, the Wii is folded into it because the Wii is an SD console. It doesn't even do HD. It caps off at 480i. Or 480p, I think. So it doesn't make it into HD resolutions or anything. So for ease of design and build, the Wii is included in the retro tower because it's effectively a retro device in terms of it did not cross the HD threshold. So that was a long way of coming back to, I consider the Xbox 360 and the PS3 and the Wii U are sort of the line where modern consoles start, because they support, 720p or 1080p or whatever. So those I wouldn't play on the CRT, I would play them on just regular screen. A regular flat screen. Although, the older ones, the PS3, the 360, possibly, I think the Wii U as well, I think they all support still, like 480p or whatever. So hypothetically, I could play them on the CRT if I so wished. But boy, I'd have to have a third one of these. It's a whole thing. The Wii, yes. You would have played the Wii on a CRT for the most part. The Wii U, no. I would say the changeover to HD pretty much happened during the Wii's lifetime, and then by the time the Wii U came out, most people were... Yeah, okay, I mean, all right. I said correct words. If you didn't hear the words correctly, it's outside of my jurisdiction now. Yeah, I definitely want to explore that using the output hub. I want to connect my gaming PC to that and see if I can't do some like downscaling. Also, the RetroTink is capable of doing a 240p downscale, I believe. Now, how I get like from my current gaming PC to the RetroTink to the CRT, I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. I also have other devices I could use to achieve that, like the GBS-C or GBS Control can also do a 240p downscale. So it might be useful to just dedicate a device to it. Might be the way to go. But yeah, we did it. Success. So everything's working the way it's supposed to be working for now until the output hub comes together. That's the next big piece. Oh yeah, I've got the second tower down right now. So other than that, it's just dialing in profiles as needed, if needed, to just make these look as good as they possibly can. We'll get the output hub going. Oh, that's because we called to the tower. The tower that's down. That's fine. That's an okay error. Yeah, every possibility will be on the board for Scream-A-Day. All the retro. Yeah, well, there's a number of ways that could be achieved, but I actually don't need to do that because I have... there's a project out there called... this. Maybe it's not .com. No, it is. This puppy here. I have this. Somewhere. The Pi that I'm going to repurpose to be a web server currently has this connected to it. I never really got it going perfectly because I was a pretty early adopter. I really wanted it for running Plex to the CRT for watching old TV shows on the CRT. But also for fucking around with emulation, just for fun. Just for funsies. But yeah, it's been years since I touched it, so it's probably a whole thing. It even has a JAMA board. So if I had arcade boards, I could actually connect them up. And essentially use the SCART to what interface? To Tower 2! SCART to Tower 2 to RetroTink to stream. So arguably, if I wanted to do like MAME emulation, the best way for my setup would be to get the RGB Pi going and then emulate it there, run it to the CRT and through the scaler to y'all. At least for my setup. Shit's pretty sick. What's up, Trim Track? Welcome, welcome. Actually, my solution for Game Boy is not the Super Game Boy, because there's a sort of an issue with the Super Game Boy. There's multiple issues with Super Game Boy. Mainly that it has... it causes... someone here knows, but there's like a power feedback, and... Yes, yeah. So it's GPIO out from the RGB Pi to the SCART output, and it sends an RGB signal out. So it would work with the towers just like any of the other consoles. It would just basically be exactly like another console. But yeah, yes, the Super Game Boy runs too fast. I think it's either too fast or too slow. I think it's too fast, and it also. It puts out an interference having to do with power, and it fucks up the audio really bad. So, I mean, I'll just show you. If I can. Give me just a second. All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a Game Boy Advance game immediately handy. Those are not organized out yet. One more moment. I don't know how well this is going to work because I haven't done this in a long time. It's literally been years because my setup has not been ideal for a while. I have like a ton of these memory cards. I don't know which one's the right one. But just a moment here. It just might not even work. We'll see. Okay, get that there, and then... So here's my solution. The GameCube has the Game Boy player connected. I have an action replay. And on that, I have installed these. This is not the right controller for this. Sorry, hold on. All right, got the right controller. I haven't messed with this for a while. Yeah, there's a mod out for fixing the Super Game Boy, but I don't recall whether there was any. Yeah, everything that requires a chip is gone. I don't know if there's any mod to fix the power buzz problem, though. Is the thing. All right. So let me plug this in. There we go. I'm not sure which one works, if any of them do. So there's low latency, ultra low latency, and then just sort of like regular. I'll try regular. That doesn't seem hopeful. I may have done it wrong. Hey! Oh, it's not happy. Ta-da! I'm not sure it's wrong. But for comparison, let me switch over to Super Nintendo. Sorry, I'm looking for a controller. Hold on. There's a lot of that going on. This spin. So much stuff I need to organize. Tired of digging. Digging. So much digging. Here we go. Nintendo. Right. Super Game Boy. That sure didn't work, did it? It is cute. You hear that buzz? So as you can see, Castlevania just runs like shit. It's just that's just how Castlevania on Game Boy is. Well, there is a buzz. I guess it's not a big deal. It was a big deal on my old setups. Maybe my new setup somehow fixes that, but it wasn't intentional. I'm trying to locate some more interesting stuff to show real quick. Like a Game Boy Advance game and a different Game Boy game. So give me just like 5 minutes. Okay, I've got I found a box of games. Let me grab some stuff here. Hopefully something nice. Of course, they're all buried under other crap. Very random things. This one might be good. Oh yeah. These are all good. I think I misplaced my Metroid Fusion and very upsetting. I miss that game. I love that game. Fantastic fucking game. That'll do for Game Boy Advance. Let me find a better Game Boy game to show. Ugh. Buh. Ah, God. I'm always pulling out all this garbage. Oh, Lord. That would be a good one. So some games, I think, also don't work? Like, I'm not sure Game Boy... Later Game Boy games, they might work on the Super Game Boy, but I'm not sure about that. Looking for one fucking game in particular, and I know I have like multiple copies of it, and yet I can't find it. It's always how it goes. Son of a biscuit! Alright, well... I have to go with what I actually found. Wait, let's see this one. I mean, the Super Game Boy was pretty fucking sick when it came out. It was really cool. Doodly-doo. Ah, I knew it! I knew it! Yeah, sad face. to try to put something in that at least runs better than Castlevania. Oh yeah, bud. Yeah, Link's Awakening would work. My point is that not everything does. But Turtles works. So now let's go back to the GameCube. I love that I can just click on a button and switch now. Okay. So I'm also using like an ancient, years-old version of Game Boy interface. It's probably better now. So there's that to explore as well. I've already done it, Shadow. I have 2 retro towers now. We're on to weird and wild shit, like being able to do switching to any of the consoles on either tower with a web page. Okay, so let me put in Oracle of Ages. There we go. Look at it go. Yeah, there is some kind of weird visual issue. I'm not sure if that's scalar or what. This is my first time running these through the RetroTink, so there's probably shit to fix. Yeah, the Super Game Boy is literally a Game Boy in a cartridge. So yeah, it'll only play things that a Game Boy can play. I love the music in this game. Isn't it beautiful? I wanted to find Link's Awakening and show that off, but that's the one I couldn't find. I'm sure it's in there. But I was already like pulling the box completely apart. So yeah, for me, for my money, playing via the Game Boy player is going to be the better way to go. And there are other options and stuff, so I should be able to tune it so that we get a more full picture and make it work with the scaler and stuff. I need to update Game Boy interface. Okay, so let's look at Game Boy Advance. That sounded weird. Oh yeah, baby. This game fucking rocks. But yeah, we can definitely do better. I just need to figure out like how this is gonna work in this setup. I just don't even know. Well, that looks better already. A bit better. That doesn't look very good. The thing is that Game Boy interface has settings that probably need to be diddled and twiddled. And that's a whole thing. We'll have to do that sometime. Because I did, at one point I had this shit looking crisp. But at the moment, it's looking a little bit fucky-wucky. Yeah, the colors don't look quite right and stuff. You know what? The whole GameCube output doesn't look really quite right. I might have to try switching GameCubes or something. Oh wait, actually. Huh. It's weird that the sampling doesn't do anything for this at all. I wonder why. This still has some interference, but maybe it's a tad better. Like the colors, I think, look more correct. Yeah, there's still some interference in the picture, but it's pretty massively improved. So I don't know. It's something else to figure out. It's going on the list. List of shit to fix. But yeah, we did well here, I think. We got a lot of shit figured out. And being able to switch between all these is absolutely fucking insane. So, once the output hub gets involved, that's really gonna really change things. Because, like, if there are things that the RetroTink can't handle, then I can set up a custom command to use a different scaler, for instance. I could use the OSSC or something like that and whatnot. Because I think I used the OSSC before with Game Boy Advance. I'm not sure. So, yeah. It's really coming together. I'm excited. We've come a long way with this in a short period of time. If anybody wants to help, by the way, there is one thing that I'm in big need of that is on the wish list. But unfortunately, it's a bit of a pretty penny. Where is it, actually? Can I pass it? Oh, this. I need 5 of these fucks. Which is rough, but if anybody feels like contributing, that would be a very helpful way to do so. Oh, can't see it. Female RGB Euro SCART to 4 BNC. Plus audio cable, built-in sync stripper XM29 PVM BBM on eBay. Oh, I mean, it's already. I've been at this shit for 10 years, and I don't know, somewhere like 7 years ago, I probably settled on SCART. I was on JP21 originally, and then for all the RGB consoles, I went SCART, and then the component ones are component. So it's not that I'm SCARTing it up; it's that I'm completing the SCART path that I was already on. What is it that everybody's on now? I think everybody's like moving to component, really, right? That would be a tall ask for my setup, unfortunately. I can see how it would probably be a good idea, but that would be a lot of walking it back for me. A lot. Unfortunately. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for hanging with me and helping out. I appreciate you. Yeah. For me, the journey is I enjoy the original hardware still. Getting it all working and going is part of the fun. As well as, obviously, collecting and so forth, so. It's all good. If you want to see a run-through of me actually going through every single one of the consoles, all of the RGB ones are SCART, and then obviously all the component ones are component. But we got them all dialed in, and they're all clickable through this this right here. Second tower is down, and I turned off all the consoles except for the GameCube, so I can't do it right now. And normally I wouldn't be running them all anyway, would I, Chew? Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night.